Now on CS Enterprises, it's breaking the news, and the program was recorded on the day that Boris Johnson has finally decided to do the decent thing. Thank fuck he's going.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
And this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. Once again, we're joined by some top-tier talent from the world of stand-up. On my right, we have Ashley Storey and Aaron Simmons, and facing off against them will be Josie Long and Mark Jennings. In the news this week, a court has heard that a Ryanair steward drank whiskey and wine from the aircraft's drink trolley whilst on duty. The flight attendant blamed his actions on the long queues at security, which meant he didn't have time to get a pint at the airport. Guns N' Roses announced the cancellation of their Glasgow show just 4 days after the Red Hot Chili Peppers did the same. I'm now really starting to worry about those Nirvana tickets that my uncle sold me. And thousands took part in Shetland's first Pride Festival. It was a real blend of cultures as they burned a virgin in a giant wicker dolly parton. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. This is our Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. Ordinarily. But let's face it, there really is only one story in town. So, just for the hell of it, Ashley and Aaron, can you tell me what the story is in our mashup?
Boris Johnson is insisting he'll carry on as Prime Minister, despite receiving nearly 50 resignations from MPs in government positions. He's gone.
What? Ashley Storey, what do you think is the story in our mashup this week?
I think the mashup story, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that Boris Johnson has resigned, allegedly, and will step down eventually because all his snaky pals turned against him.
Well done, Ashley. It has been announced that Boris Johnson is to resign as Conservative leader. Mr Johnson defied calls for him to go for 2 full days, adding that he had a right to stay because of the 80-strong majority he won at the 2019 election. But after over 50 resignations, on Thursday it was announced that the Prime Minister would be standing down. Next week, a timetable will be set out for that transitionary period, and at which point there will be a new Conservative leader and thus a new Prime Minister of the country. I mean, you know things have got to be in a bad place in your career as Prime Minister when you can't even please people by sacking Michael Gove. Well, there we go. The Prime Minister's resignation, it has happened. Ashley, first of all, what's your reaction to it?
It was a really weird, tense time because they just didn't come out of that door, 10 Downing Street. We were just sat there waiting to see, is he going to come out? Is he going to make a speech? And you know why it took so long? Because Carrie was steaming the gold wallpaper off the walls.
And Boris was just steaming. He's having a works event. Oh, my goodness. Well, there it is. It's happened. Obviously, a big week in politics. Aaron, your first time in the show.
Yep.
What a week to make your debut.
I don't want to say it's because of my appearance on this show, but we can't say that it's not at this stage.
We can't for certain confirm neither or deny it.
Also, I need to point out that I put my chair to the side of me just so that everybody in the audience knows that I'm in a wheelchair. And then, you know, I tried to make a joke about being in a wheelchair, and you're not in a wheelchair.
That's bad.
People get very confused. So I will be making a joke about being in a wheelchair later in the show.
Just so you know, just so you're ready for that. What's your instant reaction to Boris Johnson resigning?
Honestly, I didn't think he would do it. Like, even now, he said he's going to go in October. I'm still thinking in September he's going to turn around and go, I didn't say which October. October 2035 is a really important time for this country, actually. You need to get everything in place for that to be the case.
Josie Long, what are your thoughts on this?
We know that this is not the end of Conservative rule. We know that the past 3 years have been hellish for a number of reasons. We know that he's corrupt. We know that he should have gone sooner. We know all these things. But you got to take your pleasures where you can. And I tell you, Mum is very much out on the Raz. Listen, it's Mum's special day. Mum, I was trying to explain to my 4-year-old why I was thrilled whilst watching rolling news coverage of nothing. And I feel thrilled. Like, it's like, you know when there's a beautiful heat wave and you know it's because climate change and that's very bad, but at the same time, you got a whole bag of ice in the freezer. That's how I feel. I'm like, come on, let's have a G&T. Come on. Let's have a G&T.
I think it is, like Josie was saying, like, I spent all day yesterday just watching the rolling news as well, to the point where I actually ended up just impulse buying a black front door. I spent so much time watching it, I was just like, that actually looks quite nice, do you know what I mean?
What do you think about it then, Ashley? Obviously, this was brought about by a number of reasons. In the end, it was the number of resignations in the government. Were you surprised to see so many ministers go?
I was just really feel bad for Nadine. She... No, you do! She's just like, I love you. I'll be there forever. I don't care what anybody says. You're my best friend, Boris. And I kind of think that's a shame for her, because what is she going to do now? Where is Nadine going to go? And do you know what? If we don't give her a job, she's going to end up on our tellies. We're going to be watching her and I'm a celebrity gobbling down like a kangaroo anus. And I, for one, say no to that.
Nadine Dorris, she might actually just try and run for Prime Minister now, though, and think that she's going to have Boris's backing. But I bet you when she, like, tries to get his endorsement, he'll be like, new phone, who this?
What do you think about this then, Josie? In the end, it was the amount of resignations that I think meant that Boris had to go. Were you surprised to see so many ministers go? I mean, these people were backing him to the hilt for years.
I wasn't surprised because these people do have no courage and they've seen people start and they're jumping in now that opinion has turned. But at the same time, I do have some sympathy because if I saw a really big queue for anything and I didn't know what it was, I'd join it. You know? If they saw there's going to be 50 of them queuing to go out the door and you're just some kind of secretary to whatever, I'd be like, do you know what? Either everyone's resigning or they've opened a crepe stand and I can't miss out.
I feel sorry for Michael Gove a wee bit because, like, on the day that all these people resign, he's the only one to actually get sacked. But there is a positive for him because now he's free to get absolutely out his nut at Transmit this weekend, so...
And you know he'd do it.
Oh, aye. He's on the main stage this weekend, like, DJing.
Who do you think the next leader will be?
Probably like Voldemort or Priti Patel.
Josie, what do you think? Who do you think might be the next leader?
Well, given the resignations and given that a lot of people have already ruled themselves out, I think it's probably a contest between Linda Stevens, Jeremy Phillips or John Diamond, all of whom I just made up. Like, who not... I know, this is like you saying, hey, guess what? You get to choose who your new landlord is. Cool. Cool, thanks. I can't wait.
John Diamond had my vote from the get-go.
I know, it sounds good.
I quite like John Diamond.
Listen, John Diamond's a charismatic guy, and yes, he doesn't exist, but could he do a worse job than Boris?
You know, there's a guy called John Diamond listening to this show going,
Yeah.
hang on,
Is
that's
it
an idea.
You know what? I'd love it if he's listening and he went, do you know what? No. I'm ready to step up to the plate.
Well, there you go, Mark. There's a lot of speculation already flying about as to who's going to take over. Who do you think the next leader is going to be?
Well, look, the Tories thought that Boris was too self-interested, and the talk is now that they want someone who's going to be in there that's got real conservative values. So I think the next leader of the Tories might actually be Keir Starmer.
Aaron, what do you think? Do you think Labour could do any better? Is this now their time?
I mean, they've got a better chance than in 2019 because I think we've all forgotten that Labour was so unelectable in 2019 that Boris hid in a fridge because all he had to do was say nothing. So instead of going, OK, I trust myself to just say a sentence without saying anything that screws up my chances of becoming Prime Minister, he thought, no, I'm going to hide in a fridge.
Aaron, do you think that's where he went wrong? Do you think he shouldn't have come out the fridge?
Probably. I think if Keir Starmer's going to get elected, he's got to go in a tumble dryer. Like, there's the only chance he's got. Hide in the tumble dryer, come out nice and warm and fluffy, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better than it is.
If you're listening, we've sorted it for you. 5 ministers quit amongst a flurry of resignations, and 5 ministers quit with a joint letter of resignation. This would have impressed the Climate Minister by not wasting paper. Sadly, he'd quit by that time as well. Yes, so many ministers resigned that Tory whips were unable to fill the posts. Talks are already underway to add government minister to the EU seasonal worker visa. And there you go. Well done, teams. You both get 2 points for that. It was, of course, the biggest story of the week, the resignation of Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And at the end of that round, the teams are all square. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, and so this week, to find out what stories people are talking about, we've spoken to Holmes Under the Hammer presenter Martell Maxwell and comedian and presenter Bash the Entertainer. So, Josie and Mark, what story do you think Martell is on about here?
There are a multitude of reasons being flung about. Pathological overcommitter? Really? The best one has to be the underconfident avoiders. And apparently it takes 66 days to break the habit. Or you could just set your alarm, lay your clothes out the night before, and you'll fix it in no time.
I believe that's a story about lateness.
It's a story about lateness, and the research has found out that different types of personalities tend to be less punctual than others. There are strategies for developing greater punctuality, but psychologists say the average time needed to break a bad habit, like tardiness, is 66 days. Josie, what do you think about this research then? Are you prone to lateness?
Oh, yeah. I have ADHD, which is basically, it's being late. And there's nothing any of you can do about it. It's lots of things, you know, like hyperactivity, interrupting people, zoning out, trying to concentrate, not being able to, having 1,000 thoughts in your head at any one point. Also, kind of when you are just about to leave, just sitting there and not. For a long time, you've got stuff you need to do, and then what you do is you just don't do it. And in your brain, you're like, do the stuff, do the stuff, do the stuff. And your body's like, nah. So yeah, I think it's I think people who are judgmental of lateness, they do see us as like feckless, disrespectful and lazy, but you need to know that I see you as like this. Oh, my house is so tidy. Oh, I don't have anything in it. Oh, I like the mornings. So is that who you want to be? Is that who you want to be?
Aaron, what do you make about this then? There's research saying that different personality types mean you are less punctual. Are you prone to lateness?
When I was at school, I would turn up to a lesson late, and the teacher would ask me why I was late, and I'd say, I fell over, when I hadn't. And they went, OK. And so I did that every single day, and I never learnt my lesson. And I continue to be late until this day.
Good on you.
And I just want to say sorry for being late today. It was because I fell over.
Ashley, what do you make about this then? Are you someone that's prone to lateness?
Well, I'm on the other side of the neurodiversity coin, where lateness makes me furious. I'm very autistic, but time is my thing. Time is my thing. I will be an hour early for a train, just in case. I have had several meltdowns in London Euston Station because trains have been delayed. And to the point, this is really bad, the London Transport Police know me by first name.
I struggle with procrastination. And I remember one time when I was in uni, I struggled with it so much that I ended up like just running out of time to hand in an essay. So I had to blame it on an external factor. So I just said I was robbed, right? And in a way, I was robbed, right? Because they say procrastination is the thief of time.
That's amazing. Aaron, what do you think about this then? Trying to find the reasons for lateness. Do you think it's laziness or external forces that make you late?
I mean, if we're going to talk about stairs being external, they're the main reason why I'm late 90% of the time. And as I say, I did fall over.
The more you say it, the more we do believe it, though.
Yeah, no.
Mark Jennings, what's your best excuse for being late?
ScotRail.
Works every time, mate. There we go. Lateness and how to get better at timekeeping is the right answer. 2 points go to Josie and Mark. So, Ashley and Aaron, what do you think Bash is talking about here?
If you go watch an Avengers movie, you have to dress up as one of the characters. If you go watch a Superman movie, you're either Batman or you're Superman. So even me as a grown man, I like doing it as well. So I don't really see anything wrong with it. Personally, I think it's really fun.
I think he was talking about the Minions movie and the kids dressing up in suits.
It's the news that some cinemas have banned young people wearing suits from screenings of Minions: The Rise of Gru over rowdy behaviour fuelled by a TikTok trend. Teenagers following the hashtag Gentle Minions trend have been accused of making noise and throwing things during screenings.
Minions, essentially what it is kids have been putting on suits, going to this absolute trash film that's rubbish, and then all sitting together like it's a good laugh, like it's great. And the cinemas did nothing but complain about how nobody comes to the cinema anymore. Nobody wants to buy soggy popcorn for $7.99. Wah. Suddenly, there's people turning up. Old people always complaining about how young people dress. Oh, pull your trousers up. They're wearing suits. They're spending money. They're doing exactly what you want them to do, but them somehow, because it's young people, it's still not right enough. You're still not doing it right enough. Shut up. Let the children play. They've been locked in. This message was paid for by John Diamond.
Just shows how suggestible we all are as a human race, you know, because it's like anytime we hear about something, we need to go and experience it. And if you want to hear me talk more about this, I'll be doing it at my Edinburgh Festival show this August. 5:25 p.m. every evening.
What do you think about this then, Josie? Would this ruin a trip to the cinema for you?
Look, it's not going to ruin my trip to the cinema. If I'm going to see Minions: The Rise of Gru, I am already in hell. I don't want to hear the film. And also, you're saying, like, scores of young people all showing up at the cinema, all wearing suits. How can we be sure that it is not junior Tory ministers? We know they've resigned, we know they're free in the day, and we know they all look about 12 in a cheap suit. Case closed.
But I think it's good that they're doing a dressy-up interactive thing, because I used to work for Sing-Alonga, so I used to do all the big Sing-Alongas, Dirty Dancing, Rocky Horror Show, Frozen. And it's good, because the kids don't have a Rocky Horror Show that they can go to. The best ones I ever did were in Newcastle, because seeing, like, 400 children in Elsa wigs going, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
That's genius. Aaron, what is your worst cinema experience?
So I went to go see Avengers Endgame when it came out. Amazing movie. Not complaining about the movie at all. It's wicked. Probably the most popular movie of all time. And I went to go see it by myself, which is not terribly sad. The best of times. The only thing about it is that I get a free ticket. And so I couldn't convince anybody to go see the most popular movie of all time for free. All they had to do was sit next to me, and they went, "No, we'll go see it another time, mate."
Oh.
Thank you. And I fell over on the way.
Of course you did. Yes, fans dressing up for the new Minions movie is the correct answer. 2 points go to Ashley and Aaron. You're tuned to Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. This round is all about who's in the news, so I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So Ashley and Aaron, you're first this time. Who is this?
When I got to the UK, I wanted to make sure I had a job ready, so I sent my CV off to some of the top restaurants at the time, and Michelle was the first to reply, offering me this commie position, and I took it.
I think it is our new Scottish fish and shellfish ambassador. Monica Galetti.
Yes, it is the news that acclaimed TV chef Monica Galetti has been named as the first Scottish seafood ambassador. The former MasterChef Professionals judge will lead the way in encouraging UK hospitality venues to offer more Scottish seafood. What do you think about this then? So we've got Monica Galetti. She's got a new role as Scottish seafood ambassador. Do you think she's a good fit for that title?
Aye, it's a nice thing, and it's a cute wee name. It's called See the People. You know, See the People, and like apparently the original idea was actually to have the campaign fronted by Gordon Ramsay, but because he used to play for Rangers, he insisted it be called See Are the People.
Aaron, obviously we're talking about Monica, and she's a well-renowned TV chef, been on MasterChef Professionals. What about you? Are you a good cook? Could you cook to a MasterChef level?
No, but I am limited in the fact that I can't eat gluten, which I think is the best thing in all food. And like to the point where I miss it every day since I haven't had gluten, to the extent that if a genie came to me and said, would you rather be able to walk properly or be able to eat gluten, I would waddle my way over to a bakery. Like...
Josie, could you cook to a MasterChef level?
Unfortunately, no. And the reason I know this is because I was on Celebrity MasterChef and I did so badly. But my best experience of the whole thing was Greg Wallace gave a motivational speech to everyone before we started shooting, and he said, I used to just sell greengroceries. Now look at me. I'm rich. I'm famous. I'm on my 4th wife. It was honestly one of the weirdest and funniest things I've ever heard in my life. I've never forgotten it. I say it to myself once a week. I'm on my 4th wife.
So well done. We love Monica Galetti. She is the first ambassador for Scottish seafood. But what would you be the perfect ambassador for, and why?
I think I'd like to be the ambassador for Tapsaf season. I think that every summer, bring me out, right, in a wee tricorn hat, and I'll look at the sky, and if it is time for Tapsaf weather, I'll ring a bell and shout, Tapsaf, Tapsaf, and then all the Neds will get their nips out, and I'll be happy. Tapsaf Ambassador 2023, hashtag.
There you go, Ashley, for that job, 100%.
Thank you.
See the People is a campaign to promote the sale of fish and shellfish in the UK, not to be confused with Transport Scotland's training scheme, See the People, which is to teach bus drivers when to stop at bus stops. Yes, 2 points to Ashley and Aaron. That was, of course, Monica Galetti. Right, Josie and Mark, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
Yeah, I was just all the hard work, the sacrifices and everything just kind of all hit me. Didn't really know what to say, obviously. Got emotional there.
Cameron Norrie has got to the semi-finals of Wimbledon, and he has got British parents, including a Scottish dad.
That's right, yes, well done. It is Cameron Norrie who reached the Wimbledon semi-finals by fighting back to beat David Goffin in a memorable 5-set thriller. Norrie will now contest his first Grand Slam semi-final, meeting defending champion Novak Djokovic. Cam Norrie's parents are huge tennis fans. In fact, Cam has actually sought for, come on, Tim. We also have to say, depending on when we recorded this and when you're hearing it, Cam Norrie may or may not be in the Wimbledon final, or he may or may not be Prime Minister. So covering all bases there. But what do you think about this then? Mark, are you excited to see Cameron Norrie getting this far in Wimbledon?
Yeah, it's good. And like, not only are his parents British, but they're also marine biologists. So it means that once again, Novak Djokovic is going up against the scientific community.
Well done. Josie, are you excited by this?
What I will say is after 2010 to 2015, it's nice to have a Cameron that I don't wish ill. You know? It's nice that he's rehabilitating Cameron.
Cameron Norrie, we have mentioned about the fact that he's perhaps travelled about. Cameron Norrie was born in South Africa to Scottish and Welsh parents, grew up in New Zealand before going to college in America and settling in England. So he might have done well at Wimbledon, but next week he's definitely going to be on a plane to Rwanda. But Josie, it seems like in Scotland we have a vested interest because Cam Norrie's dad is Glaswegian. Do you think that means now that we're claiming him?
I will defer to Judy Murray in all aspects of this. What I'd like to say is, what is Judy saying on the matter? Because whatever Judy's saying, I'm willing to go along with.
Yeah.
I trust Judy.
That's a good position to take.
I was just going to say, a lot of people have that bracelet saying, what would Judy do? I think that's what it stands for.
I think it is. I think you're right. Ashley, what about it? I know you're not so into tennis or sport, but Cameron Norrie's dad is from Glasgow. So does that mean that we're claiming him?
I mean, we will claim him because we claim everything. If you've ever spoke to an old Scottish person, apparently we invented everything, including clouds and rain. But I think it's fine. It's not as, like, cringy as, remember when Obama ran and the Irish were like, oh, there's an O at the front of his name? He's one of us.
No,
yeah.
That's amazing. Cameron Norrie said the crowd getting behind him at Wimbledon was a real shot in the arm. And when Djokovic heard that, he went straight to the airport to avoid getting vaccinated. Well done, Cameron Norrie is the right answer. 2 points to Josie and Mark! And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. So I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
What I'm telling you now is my recollection of events.
That's Boris Johnson there, trying to remember the names of his brand new cabinet. So, fingers and buzzers, teams, and here we go. Over 50% of us say we want to do what? Mark?
Just want to have fun.
Lovely. Over 50% of us say we want to do what? Ashley?
Experiment with Class A drugs.
Over 50% of us say we want to do what? Josie?
Is it sleeping but the baby won't let us? Because it is in my house.
The answer is this, that over 50% of people in Scotland say they want to make a positive difference in their neighbourhoods.
What I'm telling you now is my recollection of events.
Oh, there we go, that's it. Boris has Johnsoned. It's all over. At the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Ashley Storey and Aaron Simmons! Commiserations to Josie Long and Mark Jennings! And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news, just in. Jacob Rees-Mogg has cited the ability to sell sparkling wine in plastic bottles as a benefit of Brexit, although they also mean the Queen's been stuck trying to launch a new ship since February. A baby mammoth frozen for over 30,000 years has been found by Canadian gold miners. The animal is perfectly preserved, except for where one of the miners bit it to see if it was real. And outgoing Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told Scotland's First Minister that now is not the time to hold a second referendum. No, not when there's leaving drinks to be organised. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. August in Edinburgh can mean only one thing, the Edinburgh Festivals, and we will be there. If you'd like to be in the live audience for Breaking the News, which this year is coming from our Spiegel Tent venue located at St James's Quarter in the centre of Edinburgh, then you can apply for tickets now. As well as us, there are many more of your favourite BBC radio shows and podcasts lined up. Just visit the BBC Shows and Tours website for more information.
And the best thing of all is that the tickets are free. Well, unless if you're Jay Lafferty and decide to spend £8 million on a coffee at St James' Quarter instead.